Hey, this is Matt, Red Defense. Good morning or afternoon or whatever time it is you happen to see this. Obviously, it's daytime here. You can see by the window. Thanks for watching today. We're going to get into a pistol here in just a minute. But I just wanted to say thanks, like I said, for watching this video. Thanks for those of you who have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate that. Please pass it along and you know, the more the merrier, I guess. Couple things. Everything you see here, what I have is either something that I'm working on that's been brought to me for repair, or it's something that's been purchased by me to sell, or a customer has ordered it through my shop. So nobody's giving me anything for free. I'm not being paid off by any advertisers or anything. So if I get into what I think is my opinion, that is just my opinion. It's not influenced by anything in particular. So, you know, keep that in mind. I'm not doing this for money necessarily. I'm just doing it because it's fun. It gives me something else to do. And I think sometimes it might be informative for some folks. Hopefully somebody's learned something over these videos or gotten some use out of them. So, all right. Anyway. Anything also, a lot of this stuff you may be able to find it if I just get it in for sale. It may be on my website, redrootdefense.com. I may not have time to put it on there because it may be something that somebody ordered and I know they're coming to get it. So anyway, all right, well, let's get into this. Today we're going to look at a Smith & Wesson Performance Center pistol. And I know you've probably seen Smith & Wesson pistols before, and you may have heard about Performance Center pistols, and it makes you kind of wonder, well, what exactly is the big deal about the Performance Center? Well, the point of having a Performance Center pistol is Smith & Wesson wanted to give it an opportunity. It's kind of like a custom shotgun. You know, on a lot of firearms, there's a lot of things you can do to change things. There's different springs and different sights and different, you know, there's a lot of add-ons or options of things you can do that just make it a better pistol to you. They're very customizable to a certain degree. And so Smith & Wesson started the Performance Center because they said, hey, you know, we can do this and we can go ahead and put the pistol out with these particular options already installed, and it might be easier. Like you don't have to go to a gunsmith and have this done, or you don't have to worry about doing it yourself or whatever. And the cost is sometimes negligible compared to the original cost of the pistol. So in this case, this is definitely have a couple of things that you would have to go somewhere and have done, or most people would. This kind of gives you a good opportunity to look at one of these pistols that you may not have seen before. This is more of it's a high dollar pistol to me. It may not be a high dollar pistol to some people. This pistol sells for about $800, and I mean, to me, that's a lot for an M&P. But it's got some really neat, you know, things that go with it that make up that price. And once you tried to source everything and do it all separately, it probably would cost you more than that. And if you're going to shoot, if accuracy is important to you, and especially if you're going to shoot in any kind of competitive arena, this would certainly be a good option for you, because that's what it's kind of set up for. So, all right, let's get into it. This is a M&P. Let me let you see the label there if you can. What does it say? M&P 9mm 2.0 ported with a red dot. This comes with a Crimson Trace red dot. So we'll get into that in just a minute. So let's open this box up and see what we got. All right, first and foremost, look at there, a manual. And it's kind of thick. It's kind of long and skinny, so it's going to be kind of thick. Anyway, read the manual. I recommend it highly. It's important to read the manual. If the manual was not important, it wouldn't be in there. You know, I'm sure there are people out there who read the manuals. I'm sure there's people out there who read the owner's manual to their cars. Sometimes I don't. I mean, it's a car. You put it in drive, you go. You press the brake, stop. It's when something goes wrong is when you read the manual, like how do I set this clock back when the time changes or something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of good information in these manuals. Read it. I highly recommend it. If you buy a firearm or somehow acquire a gun that does not have an owner's manual, new or used, call the manufacturer. Look it up on their website. They'll probably send you one for free. So it's worth it. Get a manual. Let's see. This is a registration card. Send it in and register. That's another thing. People don't do this all the time, but it's good to do. If you have the opportunity to register your gun with the manufacturer, sometimes you'll get a lot of warranty options that you don't normally get. See? Warning. Be careful. Do this. What does it say? Firearms must be handled responsibly and securely stored to prevent access by children and other unauthorized users. And then, of course, I stuck this in here. The traditional ATF youth safety notice has to do that. All right, what else we got in this box here? The first thing you see on the other side of this box is this thing. And it's like, what is this? Open it up. How about that? Comes with its own cleaning kit. An official Smith & Wesson cleaning kit in this nice little case. That's worth something. Nice to have a cleaning kit already together. Let's see what we got. Alright, we got some magazines. There's one magazine. This is a, what? I forget. 16 round magazine. This is a 9mm, by the way, in case I didn't say that before. Alright, we have some adjustable back straps. Different back straps for this handgun. And there's 3 of them. So something to fit just about anybody. And keep in mind there's already one installed on the pistol, so you get 4. All kinds of interesting things in here. Alright, there's your Crimson Trace manual, which actually goes with this, the Crimson Trace sight. And I have put a battery in here because I was looking at it the other day. It doesn't necessarily, I don't know if it comes with it. I guess it does come with a battery. Yeah, I guess it does come with a battery. I can't remember. You'll notice when we take it out of the little bag here, the sight has a cover, and it's a good idea to keep that covered. You have a trigger over travel adjustment kit, which basically is a Allen wrench. A screw and plate kit, which is a lot of different plates for optics for this particular pistol. You get some different screws and Allen wrenches here. That's everything in there. The obligatory pistol lock. Yeah. And here it is. A Smith & Wesson Performance Center 5-inch M&P 9mm 2.0. This is a neat looking pistol. Now this is not quite as nice looking as, say, the gold accents or the gold plated barrel that I've seen, but it's a nice sharp looking pistol. You can see right away. Let me move it, hold on. Get this box out of the way. Alright. So you can tell right away there's some different things about this gun that you won't normally see. First things first, you can see your slide is ported and your barrel is ported. So if you wanted to have your barrel ported and your slide ported, you pretty much would have to send this off to have somebody do it. You could send it to Smith & Wesson, or there's other gunsmiths around the country that will do that. So that's automatically going to cost you some money. This one comes this way, and it's probably cheaper. By the time you bought a regular 5-inch M&P and sent it off to have it ported and everything, this one already comes this way. So you just look at the top of the slide, you can see the slide's cut out for optics. That's removable. It already comes with pretty good sights. I'm trying to get this. If you wanted to keep, just use the iron sights, it comes with pretty good iron sights. These are better than standard sights. This pistol is really set up to be shot competitively. I mean, it's a good shooting pistol. I don't think you'd put all this effort into something just to carry it. Oh, you easily could, but I'm not, thinking that's what this was really designed for. So you have ambidextrous slide releases, one on each side. Here's another magazine. This is a 17 round magazine that are flush fit. I don't know. Take a look at this. There's your back strap and it's stippling on this pistol. I mean, it feels good in your hand. It's really designed to fit and to hold it securely. This is a little bit more effort than, say, into your basic M&P carry pistol, like I've said. This is a 5-inch, also not another highly sought after carry length. Most of the time, if your carry pistol is going to be a little shorter than this. Wow, so there's a lot of stuff. Let's talk about it. All right, 9mm ported barrel, ported slide. Your slide's cut out for optics, which is where this comes into play. You have a bunch of different plates, depending on what optics you're going to use. It comes with a lot of plates. However, this one already comes with an optic, the Crimson Trace, the CTS 1500, which is a pretty nice red dot optic that already fits on here. Some manuals and stuff come in there. Comes with your Performance Center cleaning kit, which we already looked at. I'm just looking at my little sheet here to see if I missed anything important. Let's see, larger slide stop, which we talked about that. Like I've said, the trigger stop, and it can be adjusted to prevent over travel, which is really how far the trigger travels after it is actually fired. So let's, granted we're not loaded here. I've already double checked. I don't have a trigger pull gauge. I haven't put it on here. So let's just see what it sounds like. What the travel looks like. If I do this upside down, can you see it? So yeah, you've got some travel there. That's not too bad. Once you hear it, you're done. There's no need to go back any further. So that one, I would say, is probably adjusted pretty well, but you can, play with it if you would like to. 3 dot white sights, which we looked at, and obviously these are not carry sights. I mean, you can look at the height and tell that. Another thing about these sights are not to be removed. It's recommended, even if you use a red dot, they're designed to stay. So you do not have to remove the actual sights. A lot of people take the sights off if you put a red dot on. These do not come off. Aggressive grip texture. The front cocking serrations makes it a little easier to grab it in case you need to. I mean, the slide works pretty easily on here. Of course, it is a bigger pistol. The smaller you get, the tighter that spring gets. So, what they say, this has a low barrel bore axis. Anyway, it's as you shoot, it's supposed to be much easier to control, less muzzle flip. Like I said, I imagine this would make a pretty good competition pistol. I know some of the competitions that I've shot in, you can't use optics. So these are good sights to have. I think you can use, in some of the ones that I've shot in, I think you can use red dots as long as they weren't lasers. But some of them you can't. So 4 interchangeable palm swell grip inserts. This is called Armor Night, which is pretty common for Smith & Wessons, but it's an Armor Night finish, corrosion resistant, and you get 2 magazines. Let's look at this here. Clean kit. see what it's got. You've got, on the cleaning kit side, you've got a rotating T-handle. You've got some patches, 10 cotton patches. You've got some instructions there. A nylon cleaning brush, some bore brushes. So this is a Smith cleaning kit. I guess you could use it for different pistols. Yeah, it has a 22 caliber, a 9 mil or 357 or 38 caliber, a 40 or 10 mil caliber, and a 45 caliber brush and jag. So this is not just for this pistol. So you're kind of getting a comprehensive cleaning kit for a lot of things. So that's kind of nice. I hadn't really thought about that. All right, put this back. So, okay, so you got this nice pistol and you want to put on, you're like, man, this is great. I got this really cool kit here. How do I use it? I got this really nice red dot sight. How do I do that? Well, if this is not something that you normally do, you're like, how do I actually use it? Let's look into this for you here. All right, let's talk about how to get this red dot sight installed. It's really not that difficult. A lot of it is covered in the manual, obviously. So you look up in the manual, talk about installing your sight. See, optical sight adapter mounting instructions. So there's a table on, there's some information in this manual that tells you what you want to do. So what you want to do is match up the type of red dot or optic that you have. And if you're not going to use this one, that's fine. You can use another one. The Crimson Trace 1500. So you want to look on this, see they've got different kind of optics. So you want to look at the Crimson Trace 1500 and it's right here. So you want to look up on this side. So this side will tell you what plate to use. These plates are numbered. That's number 2. And this side, this part of the grid will tell you what kind of screws to use. So screw type is D. Now I've looked, and this comes with a variety of screws and plates. However, the Crimson Trace comes with its own screws, so you've already got them. But just in case you didn't, you got some spares here. But anyway, so you look up your optic in this chart, and it'll tell you what plate to use and what kind of screws you need. So this is it, like I said, in the manual. It's important. So, okay, so this manual, so we're going to be using plate type number 2 with screw type D. So let's look at the plates here. We'll get plate type number 2 out. I know it's in here. Obviously, it's going to be the last one I pull out. Yep. It is the last one I pulled out. Type 2. See these different plate adapters, and they all have a number on them. I get confused in my camera. I'm sorry if I'm wavering here. So you see it says type whatever. This one says type 3. So let's put all these back in the little container. Here's all your screws. I'm just going to put these over here because I've already got some screws for this particular. Man, it's a good thing I'm not being timed. It'd be impossible. And let's take this out of the bag here. Go ahead and have it out and have it ready. Okay, so I'm going to use a different screwdriver here. This is a 5/64 bit screwdriver. All right, so first, okay, so you want to install your red dot. You have to take this plate off. So there's your 2 screws. There's, you just want to, don't lose these screws. Put them aside for future reference. Let me move this out of the way. Maybe it'll make a difference if you being able to see here. I hope. Okay. So we've taken the screws out. All right. So now you just want to take this plate out. It just lifts off. How about that? And you're left with a block on the top of your slide that looks like that. So I've taken this off. So I'm going to go to type 2. This is a type 2 plate. This is the plate that they said to use. If you look at this, you'll see there's two little indentions here and here. And you see one of them is bigger than the other one. I hope you can see that. But if you look at this plate, you'll notice one hole is bigger than the other one. So that gives you an idea of which direction you need to be going into. So there's your plate, just fits in there. All right. What we want to do is, this comes with a cover. It's advisable to remain, keep the cover on. This is a motion activated optic, okay? When you move it, it comes on. And your battery's underneath here, so obviously to preserve battery life, and they recommend highly that you leave the cover on when you're not using it. But we're fixed to install it. So how do we install it? So you see, you've got two screw holes rather. And you've got two screw holes on your plate. And you've got some indentions. And there's indentions on this plate. It's pretty easy to see how this fits in comparison to what we've got. So you just drop this here, and you got your two screws. They just fit down in the hole, kinda, sorta. Okay, helps use, there we go. Helps use the right adapter. These screw heads are a little different, so I'm going to use this Allen wrench that's already provided. Get these in here. Once again, it just fits right down on this plate. Now these screws have got some thread locker already included on the screw. It's blue Loctite, which means it works, but that also means that it's removable later without a whole lot of hassle. I'm sure there's some torque settings on this, but I don't know what it is right off the top of my head. I'm just doing it secure enough to where I can see it. Okay, and that is that. The thing's installed. I'll have to look up the settings. I don't think it doesn't say anything about it. It just says you put it in there tight. So you want to do it finger tight, I guess. Just kind of have to work it to get it pretty tight. So there's your optic is installed. And there's no way that I don't think there's any way I can really show you what the optic is. I know when I'm using the optic, I can see, and the way this red dot is adjusted, I can see the red dot sitting right over the front sight when I've got a good sight picture, which is pretty much what you want. Of course, you can then adjust it and zero it, as you shoot. And these there's instructions for changing the zero using this Allen wrench. So that's included, and then those instructions are here in this manual, which is a Crimson Trace manual. So this is another manual for you to read. But there it is. You're done. When you put your cover on to prevent unnecessary, battery loss, or to keep from messing up the sight when you're not using it. Wow, that's pretty sweet. A couple of other things about this particular pistol. How to strip it, how to clean it, all that's covered in the manual, but we're going to look at a couple of things. All right, let's talk about cleaning it. So you've got your optic mounted and you've gone out and you've shot and you want to clean it, strip it, or you want to lubricate it or whatever. Now there are instructions for this in the manual, but let's go through it a little bit at a time. It's not too difficult, it just might be a little tricky if you've never done this particular pistol before. So first of all, what you want to do, take out your magazine, make sure your weapon is clear, obviously. All right. You look down right here in this well. This is actually a tool. So this, just grab it, rotate it 90 degrees. Look at there. It comes out. Then you want to take this off. This just, in case you've never done this before, this just slides up. There's one little tab at the very front there. It goes up in this hole. So this is also how you swap these out. You just want to make sure your tab goes in that hole, and then you can do it. See, there's the factory one. Let's just grab one and go with it. So see, there's your slot. Just like so. All right, let me take that up. Okay, so you're taking your little tool out, which is here. Lock the slide back. If you look in here, behind, it's very difficult to see this thing. What we're looking for is something called the sear deactivation lever. I'm trying to get out of the way so you can see. Down underneath here, there's a little lever. It's underneath your extractor there. It's almost impossible to see in this video, but it's right down here, up underneath there. It's looks just like a little wire lever. It's called the sear activation lever, and they swear in the manual that it is yellow and green, and I don't see it being yellow and green. Maybe I'm colorblind, I don't think I am, but I don't see anything being yellow and green. So it's just a little pin. Once I get it in the lower position, you'll be able to see it. So it has to be what they call in the lowered position. There's two, a lower and a up. So it has to be in the lowered position. So what you're going to do is use this little pin. You go right in here, right past the extractor, and you can see it, like I've said. Once I get it in the lowered position, okay, sometimes that works well, and sometimes it don't. There, it just kind of pushes out. You can probably see it in there now. There, right there, right there. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it right there. When you see it like that, that's in the down position. Normally it's harder to see because it kind of fits up in a slot here. So that's the down position, and it has to be in the down position to disassemble and assemble the weapon. All right. So once you push that down where you can see it, then you're going to take your takedown lever here, and just rotate it clockwise. Ow! Don't use your fingernails. Down, just like that. Then you let the slide go. Maybe it'll come loose. Maybe I don't have that sear lever in quite the right spot. The sear activation lever. See, there's up. See, this is the tricky part. and there's down. Okay, so I've got that in the freaking low position. Dang it. Okay. Alright, now I'm not really sure. There we go. You have to pull the trigger. So, alright, let's do that again. We'll do that again when we get through. So, okay, so then you have your slide out, because I have to redo that adjustment lever again. Once you take this out, this is pretty normal. This comes out. Oops. Your barrel comes out. There's a lubrication guide in the manual. We'll say, okay, we've done that. So you can see your ports, your port and barrel. Pretty neat. Down here like that. Just down there like that. So you're back in normal stage from there. Alright, with your lever, there's a better view of that sear deactivation lever right there. That's in the down position. Alright, so put everything back on, pull the slide back, push that up, push that lever back up, let the slide go. Now we're down. Now the trick is, once you've got it all back together, you'll know you've got it back together, right, when you insert the magazine. And I'll go ahead and tell you, don't just jam it up in there first, because what happens is your sear activation lever is still in the down position. The magazine is supposed to push it back up into the up position. If you just jam it up in there and something's not quite right, then it ain't going to work, and it's probably going to bend it. So gently insert your magazine. See, I felt it locked. So now I can validate that. All right. So let's do that again slowly, just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Make sure your weapon's clear. Here's my little pin. I'm going to reach down in here. Just push that down. When you get it to a certain point, you can kind of push it with your finger. Can you see that? It's sticking down that little wire that's sticking out. Then you want to push this down. Release your slide. And it comes out. And you can see you're still in the down position there. See, it's sticking out. So when you get ready to put it all back together, it just slides back on the rail. I locked it back. Push your takedown lever back up. Let it go forward. Gently insert your magazine. See, there we go. If I'd have jammed that up in there, it would have been wrong. So what happens is sometimes the sear activation lever, it gets pushed down a little bit too far. There is a good spot and a bad spot. And I can't get my finger up in there, so I'm going to have to use this tool. Gently. Alright, sometimes the sear activation lever will get pushed down into the magazine well a little bit further than it needs to be, and it gets stuck. And if you just jam the magazine up in there, it sticks, and you're liable to bend it and really mess something up. So that's why you do it gently. So I was able to go in there and pull it back up. You can see it. It's still in the down position. It's just not. There's another. It can be down, but there's a spot where it gets too far down. If you know what I'm saying, it's like it goes too far down into into position and it sticks there. So let's see, that works. And that pushed it back up into the right position. So once you, now you really can't see it because it's up against the sear. So why that is an interesting color. I was just looking at my magazine. I don't know why it's got, they have different colors. And I honestly don't know what that's for, if that's just part of the manufacturing or what. But I just never noticed it before then. So anyway, there you go. So there's the sear deactivation lever. It's kind of tricky. So once you've got everything back, then you want to take your tool, goes in, and then twist it 90 degrees. Actually, no, I take that back. Hold on. Put this back first. That on, then slide your tool in, and it sticks. And you'd never know that was there if you didn't know what you were looking for. There you go. Now we're good. And like I said, so that's all there is to know. It sounds odd. It is a little tricky. Like I said, I don't know if anybody's covered this on another video or not, but this is just my take. And I'm sorry, I had to do it a couple times really. And I'm glad it got stuck the second time because it kind of showed you what happens when it does. That's why you want to be careful when you're reassembling it, not to just jam the magazine back up in there like I've seen so many people do. That could cause a problem. So anyway, that's it. So we've got your optic installed. We've disassembled it. We've reassembled it. We've lubricated it. We're ready to shoot it. I mean, that's a lot of what you need to know about this particular pistol. It's a nice pistol. It's put together really well. It's made for better shooting. And if you're in a competitive mood at all, I do recommend it. It ought to shoot very well. I'm tempted to take it and shoot it competitively, but I don't know. I'd have to make up my mind on that. All right. So this is it. Smith & Wesson Performance Center, M&P, 9mm, 5-inch ported barrel, Crimson Trace CTS 1500 optic. It's a nice pistol. If you're at all interested in it, just let me know or contact your local dealer. They can get it for you too. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section. Ping me. Look me up on redwooddefense.com. I'm on Facebook. Whatever. I'll be happy to answer your comments or questions. So, all right. Thanks for sitting through another video with me. As always, it was a learning experience for everybody, I think. For me, for sure. And I appreciate your patience. I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you subscribing. Check me out on my website, redwooddefense.com. And tell your friends, share it around. Thank you very much for your time and effort. And until I see you again, have a good day.